Hi guys. I know I've been MIA. So my youngest son, Jack, you all know him as the drummer boy. He's the one that plays the drums and like all the videos that I post. He and I had a terrible stomach bug. It was a terrible stomach bug. It was horrible. I haven't been this sick in a really long time, and it was like a quick 24 hours and it was over, but it was horrible. So he and I both endured that in the last couple of days. I am feeling better today. I'm going to start, for those of you who are waiting on a personal reading, there's only like 4 people, I think, that are waiting right now on personal readings. Um, if you are wondering, check your email because I know I've emailed everybody. So make sure you do that. But yeah, I'm planning on doing a dent. I know I still have to get the general readings done too. So I have like 6 of those left. So I really appreciate everybody's patience. I'm not going to kill myself getting everything out, but it will happen. I mean, I've never let you guys down before. I'm not going to start doing it now. But those of you who've been concerned about me, I am feeling a lot better. In fact, I kind of needed that purge. There was some things that were happening like in the last couple of weeks that I sort of felt like this negative energy. I needed that time off. As much as miserable as it was, I was able to focus on myself and I was only paying attention to my energy. And so that's why sometimes we have to be forced into a pause mode. Um, I don't typically get, like, the last couple of times that my son has been sick, I haven't gotten anything, so it's very strange for me to get a stomach bug like that. I think it happens like once every 5 years or something. And then it's like the great purge and then I'm good again. So, I'm still a little bit tired, but it's really no big deal. Like I'm doing better. We're done talking about it. 2 minutes in, we're done talking about it. The energy today is interesting because there's sort of a sliding scale with the energy today, um, because we have the moon in Aries and all of this stuff that's going on in Capricorn, and that moon in Aries in the last couple of days and today has been squaring off with everything, like Saturn. I mean, it did with Jupiter, like right off the bat. And then which sort of gave us a push to do things, but then we have the square off with Saturn that happened way early this morning at like 3 o'clock this morning. We have the moon squaring off with Pluto right now. We also have the sun squaring Neptune and Venus sextiling Neptune. And so what all of that really means, the sun squaring Neptune, you could actually have really a lot more heightened intuition today. But there's also an air of illusion going on. You could really be, it depends on the reason why I say the sliding scale, it depends on how you really feel about yourself right now. If you're secure in who you are, if you're secure in the path that you're going, maybe not 100%, like nobody's ever 100% secure in everything, right? But if you genuinely have a pretty good idea and feel good about yourself, your relationships are good, and you have a good relationship with yourself, today's gonna actually probably be a pretty good day for you. Now, if you have a lot of questions when it comes to who you are and your security and all of the things, right? And you're constantly questioning yourself and you can't really get in touch with your own intuition and you're very, very disconnected from your own spirit, today might be a little bit difficult because it's almost like a battle, like a war. Aries and Capricorn, they're both cardinal signs. And that Aries moon wants to get things done, and so does Capricorn, but Aries wants to get it done like yesterday, like right now. And Capricorn wants to do it the right way. And the Neptunian energy that's going on as well is very you want to believe, right? You want to idealize partners. You want to make the best of situations. You want to really like pump everything up and make it bigger and better. And the Sagittarius sun wants to do the same thing as well. It's a very interesting energy. So and today's also a day to take good care of yourself. Like all of this moon energy that's very female, right? And Aries is not a female sign, but this female energy of the moon is really asking you to do a lot of self-care, and maybe put the shopping on the back burner, shopping for the holidays. Maybe put, go see a movie, go do some things that bring you joy. And because I sort of feel like the people that aren't really like closely in touch with their spirit, don't really know where they're going, are sort of up in the air about things, need to kind of get back in line. That's sort of what that feels like to me. So give yourself an opportunity to do things for you today and even tomorrow too. I do want to tell everybody the meditation for tomorrow night is on. I know since I haven't been on for 3 days, so if you haven't yet gotten registered for the meditation for tomorrow night, it's going to be really cool. Probably it's going to be a much more relaxed one, not so energetically heightened. It's going to be really soft. It's going to be really inviting. We're going to work on our breath and being in the present moment, and like how you can get yourself to the present moment when you're really, really hyped up. Because this holiday season, you gotta be, you have to allow yourself to become adjusted within you. So if you want to register for the meditation tomorrow night, it's in the description box. You can get all the details in the description box. Just go to my website, fearlessintuition.net. All of the information is there. Still have the 30-minute readings are still on sale. And, I think that, oh yeah, and the jewelry's that I've still got a few rings left, and I think I have 2 necklaces left. So if you are wondering what to get that special person for Christmas, these actually are like, these are for men and women. These spiral pendants, I've had both men and women get them. They love them. It's not like a girly thing. Guys can wear it too. And you can interchange the stones. Like once you get yours, like you get a specific stone. Once you get yours, you can interchange your own stones in here. In the spiral pendant, the metal is flexible enough for you to be able to open it and then put it back together. So, yeah. All hypoallergenic silver. I had my jeweler use hypoallergenic silver because I am allergic to nickel, or like most metals, unless it's pure. Like even 925 silver, I'm allergic to. It's very interesting. So I feel like it feels like some of you are getting some things out in the open. Things that probably some healing messages too, which makes a lot of sense because Jupiter is still squaring Chiron. So it's waning, like it's moving away from the squared, but I have the Page of Swords, I have the moon, and I have the star. So I feel like there's probably some healing conversations that are coming out today. And maybe this whole weekend, right? Some healing conversations are going to come out, which is really great because I feel like there's this honesty factor that's needed. And it makes everything a little bit stronger. There's something about, and I also feel like there's this bravery towards it. Like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? There's a sense of being able to stand up for yourself, but not in a way where you're hurting someone. You're standing up for yourself, like you're telling it how it is. You're telling it, these are the boundaries you guys are placing in your life, which I absolutely love, because you want more out of life, right? The 3 of Wands, I have the Strength card down here, but the 3 of Wands is like, you're sort of tired of standing there and waiting for the thing to show up for you. So by you putting yourself out there, by you no longer waiting, right? It's almost as if this guy in the 3 of Wands is jumping on a boat and he's going to go out there and get the ships. He's going to get on a rowboat and go to the ships instead of waiting for the ships to come all the way to shore. Like he's making moves for himself, and it all starts with a conversation. And it's just that simple, right? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a conversation. Sometimes it can be an action or a movement. This is tea. For those of you who are wondering, I am not drinking coffee after having a stomach bug. This is actually herbal tea. I just like to have a little splash of almond milk in mine, so it looks creamier. That's so, I just, yeah. Okay, so this conference, I just wanted to, because I've, everybody comments about everything, so I just wanted to let you guys know. I'm not drinking coffee. That would be a little bit silly at this point. Plus it's like the middle of the day. So the Five of Cups on the Page of Swords. The conversation is like a disappointment, or it's about a disappointment. It's almost as if this conversation that's being had is like, I got to tell you about what I've been feeling, ... right? I mean, it feels like, and this could also be the person who needs to have the conversation with somebody else. That's the anticipated feeling. Like maybe it's not actually going to be a big disappointment. Maybe the conversation isn't going to be a big disappointment. But when we have expectations and we like have certain expectations of certain outcomes, let's see, what's the moon? It's all about being, oh yeah, you've got to be honest. You have to be honest about how you're feeling right now. Because when you are honest about how you're feeling, when you bring things out into the open, oh, it can be so healing. And the reason why we don't do it is because it's super uncomfortable. And God, who wants to be uncomfortable, right? That's Six of Wands on the moon. But if you come out with what you need to say, it's almost like a weight off your chest. It's like this freedom. And even if it's not received well, doesn't matter. Even because this is you worrying about it not being received well. But if you're always worried about what you have to say or your truth not being received well, that's why we don't speak our truth very often, because we're so scared that it's not going to be received well. We're so scared about how people are going to take it. Are we going to lose? And if we have to lose people in our life because they don't take our truth well, that's just the way that it goes. I mean, you can't live your life shut down or in a lie. And here's the thing is sometimes when we tell those truths and then we go on to a healing path, we are in a pause state of mind. This might also be the fear that if you say something, then everything's going to sort of stop in its tracks with the Hanged Man. But again, if you sit in this fear and this worry and if you sit in the fear and worry, this will just eat you up inside. And in fact, if you don't allow yourself to sort of have that freedom or sort of break free, it's almost as if you're staying in the Five of Cups because it's more comfortable there. I mean, why would you want to be in discomfort like that? Because there's almost a safety. Why do you think people say misery loves company? Because there's like a safety in it. Because you know that you're not alone. Right? If you're miserable, you know you're not alone. You know you're going to be able to find another miserable person. But if you speak your truth, are you going to find other people that believe that? That will you be alone forever because you speak your truth? I wouldn't say forever, but there is a moment of lonely times. And you sort of have to allow yourself to accept that silence for a while. Hanged Man, right? See it from a different perspective. Sometimes the healing, sometimes you have to be alone. And why do you have to be alone in it? Because you're the person that you need to get to know the most. It's easy to get to know everybody else. It's really hard to be honest with yourself and get to know yourself, right? And why? Why do we do all of this? What is it for? Because we want to have that confidence. We want to have that strength. We want to have that bravery. The Page of Cups on the Strength card, it's almost as if you're searching for it and yet it's right in front of you, or it's in your heart the whole time. And you've just sort of been lying to yourself by standing here and waiting for it to show up because you're holding on to a belief system, right? The Seven of Swords on the Three of Wands. It's the lie that we tell ourselves. That Seven of Swords is the lie that we tell ourselves, that we have to sit here and wait for the universe to show up for us, or wait for somebody else to show up for us. When all we have to do is open our mouths and say, I believe, or this is me, or this is that. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Are you holding on to everything out of fear? Do you think that that's going to keep you balanced if you hold on to everything? Because I sort of feel like if you were to release and just have healthy boundaries, you would receive so much more, right? But this Four of Pentacles, this Ace of Pentacles is not getting into that Four of Pentacles, right? The Justice card and the Seven of Wands, without your boundaries, without balancing out your boundaries, this Ace of Pentacles isn't going to come in. You can't just hold on to everything that the way that it used to be. We're always evolving. And when people fight and resist against the evolution process, and like when they fight against any kind of, anything that is evolving or changing, when we fight against, creating things for the future. And when I say the future, I mean all of the generations after us. When we stop creating things for our future and we just create things for ourselves, that's this, right? That's this. I'm going to hold on to everything that I have and that I know and all of my knowledge because, I did the work to find it. Everybody else needs to do the work too. Or you can realize that having a healthy balance in your life and some boundaries, you can share your knowledge, you can share the things that you're creating. This is kind of I feel like this, knowing this as we have this Jupiter and Capricorn transit, which I'm actually really enjoying already, because it just feels, I know that things are really expanding for me in the house that Capricorn sits for me, which would be it's my fourth house of home and structure and stability. And like, it feels like things are moving forward in that direction. So I hope that you guys can see the benefits of Jupiter and Capricorn for you. But I want you to really start seeing how things can expand for you right now for the long term, and how releasing the present moment, releasing the things that you're holding on to really, really tightly because out of fear of losing it, or fear that somebody's going to steal it from you, or fear that somebody's going to take, holding on to things like this is that lack mentality that we talk about. When you're holding on to it so incredibly much that you can't let anything else come in, that's where the Five of Cups comes in. You have to be honest with yourself. The freedom is going to be in no longer lying to yourself and saying that you have to act a certain way or be a certain way in order to survive, or in order to have gains in your life. You really can open yourself up a little bit more. And the vulnerability factor, I know it's scary, but the truth of the matter is, the less vulnerable and the less brave you are, the more you're going to be in this Five of Cups. because you're going to regret not doing something, right? So this time is really all about honesty for you. End game. Honesty for you. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm going to try and I'm going to do the best that I can to get everything out. If you guys are just super, super patient with me, I promise everything's gonna, it always seems like it's this time of year, right? And it's not just me. I feel like other readers are going through this too. It's always like the last 3 months of the year, everybody starts getting sick. Everybody starts needing a break. So yeah, very interesting. Yeah, sign up for the meditation tomorrow night. I think we're all going to really need it. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back for the daily on Monday. Bye.